G'day guys, and today Shorty and I will be doing a bit of a wrap up of the 2015 AFL Draft Free Agency, Trade and Free Agency was the main thing we're going to cover today. We'll be talking about the big trades, the big winners, big winner and big loser, and a bit of a discussion about Geelong and the trades they've done, so should be pretty good.
Certainly, mate. It seems like ages since we've made a video, but it's good to be back, and it's a bit of a once-off appearance until next year, or sparingly anyway.
As we said at the end of, the videos we did before, so we'll get stuck into it though. Paddy Dangerfield was the first one, and arguably the biggest one. Paddy Dangerfield in pick 50 for Dean Gore, pick 9 and pick 28. How did you think of that one?
Yeah, it was pretty damn good to get him over the Cats, wasn't it? That was fantastic. I mean, you can't really say it's a bad trade when you get a guy like Paddy Dangerfield in.
That's right.
It's always disappointing to lose someone like Gore who's promising and you lose a pick, etc. But that's what you got to give up. I mean, who knows what Gore could be? You know you're getting probably top 5, top 3 player in the comp if you want to get...
it's not bad, is it?
Yeah, if you want to get really close to that, but...
Gary Ablett's back.
Yeah, good pick. What do you reckon?
Yeah, pretty happy with it, mate. I initially thought, gee, that's a lot, but when you sort of look at it, Danger's perfect, contested ball machine, can go up forward and help us out a bit, and it should be great.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Very happy with that one. But what I was not happy with, Stevie J, he got the boot, and a 5th round pick going to the Giants, so I was pretty carved about it. He was always going to go, according to the coaches. So, how did you think, mate?
Yeah, I didn't like it too much. I won't talk about it a heap because he's your man and I'll get your thoughts on it. But tough situation when we sort of declare that he won't be at the club. So it's kind of like you can't then go asking for, a big pick or anything. And
that's right, yep.
A bit tough to see him in the paper in the Giants gear and all that. It just doesn't look right, but...
Looks orcs.
That's how it rolls. I think we're playing in round 2 or 3, so it'll be interesting. But
very quickly. Considering they were giving us a top or 1st round pick for him last year, it's kind of like, well, what's changed in 12 months? The fact that we want to kick him out, so...
Yeah, it's our fault.
No, we don't want it. For the Dockers, they did pretty well. Pick 22 and Harley Bennell. And they gave up pick 16 and pick 35. A great win for the Dockers in what was a pretty sort of low-key trade period for them.
Yeah, I feel like there was another trade they did make with picks that, even that out, but that trade in isolation was just brilliant, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, can't go wrong with it.
He's the sort of X-factor they need, I think, and he's a bit of a risk as well.
For sure.
But I reckon the Dockers need to take a risk like that if they want to finally climb the mountain and finally get there, so I think good pick.
Hopefully might help Fife maybe play forward.
Yeah, true that.
I don't know if he will play there or not, or whether Bennell will, but it certainly frees up and allows the option to be exercised a bit more maybe.
Yeah.
And so that was that one. Charlie Dixon, gone to Port Adelaide for pick 10 and 2016 2nd round pick. They've done alright. Is he the missing piece of the puzzle?
Yeah.
Paddy Ryder was.
That's the question, isn't it, I suppose? It's a lot to pay for him, I reckon.
Yeah, for the 2nd round pick on top's a lot.
Yeah, but I guess you got to take a bit of a risk, I suppose, when you're in their position and that. I mean, you got a guy on offer who wants to be at your club. He could potentially be a superstar.
Yeah,
so that's when you kind of play a little bit of overs, I guess. But what do you reckon of him? Is he going to make the Port Adelaide Power and jump up to the mantle, or is he just going to miss too many games, play 12 games a year?
It's a very good question, mate, and maybe the latter. But Gold Coast, you could maybe argue about their medical team a bit if you wanted.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of injuries, and Charlie Boy probably maybe not too keen on the processes going on there, but in a new environment and a very quick, exciting team, he could very well fire. If he stays fit, he could basically become whatever he wants.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
It's a simple equation, isn't it? So
he's got the potential to.
Definitely big game play when he gets on the run. Jakey Carlisle, he was the talk of the town. Besides Danger, he was the 2nd biggest trade. Pick 14 as well, and the Saints the Bombers gave up pick 5 and 24.
It took a while to get this one over the line. Remember the Hawks nearly...
I was spewing when that was nearly happening.
So thank God he became the same.
It's too scary.
If he was at Hawthorn, we'd be pretty salty right now discussing it. But
we wouldn't be discussing it.
Yeah. It's tough to say whether this is a great trade or not. I mean, it definitely could be. But, you know, he hasn't exactly had a great start to his new club. I mean, he certainly had some fun in the last couple of months overseas and whatnot.
YOLO.
Yeah. I think he's a great player. I think he can really be fantastic in defence where he plays best footy.
Yeah, he's not a forward. They're just playing him out of position, the Bombers.
Yeah, so on that thinking, probably a good trade, but he's got to smarten up and sharpen his act up a little bit because it's not a great start to the new club.
Played the training as well, didn't really help his case either, so he's just doing everything wrong that he could possibly do at a new club. Yeah. So much disrespect.
St Kilda's off-seasons just are awful time and time again.
Who was it? Was it Joe Montano with the incident a few years ago with the fire? I feel like Jones was involved as well.
And Nicky Dale and Ray Wald had some pictures
taken
with the schoolgirl and Andrew Lovett as well, so...
they just don't want to have an off-season. It's a bit of a history session as well. And also, the last big trade, Treloar with pick 28, gone to the Pies from the Giants, and the Giants get in return pick 7, 65, and the first round pick of 2016. They've given up a fair bit for Treloar here.
Yeah, they have. I mean, he's probably worth it, and Collingwood have really gone after some key players for that midfield.
Well, they love that midfield, mate. We've got 20 of them.
Yeah, I know. Like, Treloar's a gun. It's just a matter of how much they've given up, and I know you were mentioning before the video that you think it might be maybe too much.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think the first round of the 2016 might be just a little bit of extra mayo on top, maybe a second or third, but I think he's already shown he's a gun, and as you said before, you do have to pay over sometimes, but I think with key position players, not Justin Kaczynski, that you kind of, I think with a key position you can be more, what's the word, where you just...
Aggressive.
Flexible's the word, yeah. With Charlie Dixon, for example, they may have paid a bit more, but with a midfielder you never quite know. But I think, they should get the rewards regardless.
And the future pick's an interesting one, because Collingwood in their mind are thinking, we'll probably only give up like something in the mid-teens, because they believe they can push really far, so we just don't know where that pick will land.
Intriguing, mate. We'll see. But those are the big trades for the free agency trade period. We'll move on to the biggest winner and biggest loser. You can start us off, mate. And it was pretty obvious to the world at large who won.
I've gone for the pretty obvious one, which was Geelong. We'll touch on them pretty shortly after we discuss these other winners and losers, but they got Henderson, Dangerfield, Smith, Selwood. Everyone's been talking about them, so
they've done well.
We'll discuss it in further detail afterwards. But
sweet.
Who'd you give your big winner to?
It was very tough, and we found this process pretty tough for the winner and the loser.
Yeah.
Oh well, the second winner and maybe the loser was probably a tough one because it wasn't incredibly obvious. Sydney for mine. They plugged a few holes that they had to plug, and they directly swapped Callum Sinclair. I don't know what West Coast was thinking getting rid of him. He's like he was literally their second ruckman just chilling, and they put their faith in my set. Sinclair a bit older, 26. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Lycett's a bit younger, so they may have gone with that in mind. And Jeddah's been a bit slack, so not a bad trade in that frame of mind. And Talia will help out the key defence, which is old, slow and declining. And they've only really lost Craig Bird and not much. So they've done pretty well, I think.
Yeah, nice and simple, mate.
They've done what they've had to do, basically.
Yeah, some key holes have been plugged, as you said. So
beautiful, mate. And the biggest loser, who do you reckon struck out?
Yeah, it was pretty tough, wasn't it? We looked through every club's trades, ins and outs, and whatnot.
It's very tough.
It's very hard to say who's an absolute loser because you can mount a case for, because a lot of speculative picks and, this could work, so it's tough to say. Yeah, but I gave it to Carlton, the Wooden Spooners.
It's the Blues.
I don't know. I'll read out what they lost.
What have we got?
They lost Yaron, Henderson, Bell, and Menzel.
Yeah, it's a lot of reasonably young talent you can nearly build a club around in a good environment, ideally.
Exactly. I mean, you get the sense that Yaron, Henderson didn't want to be there. Menzel was a shock loss, and I reckon Bell, he had his best year.
Yeah, he was great.
So that's disappointing.
I've got big raps on him.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great season. They also gave a pick 20, 21, 41, 77, 95. And what they got in, which the draft picks are good, the players which I'll discuss, I just don't really think there's that much upside to most. But they got in pick 8, 11, 19 and 60. So that gave them, picks 1 and all those ones in the top
11,
20.
I think, in there as well.
Yeah. So 4 in the top 19, I think it was. So that's impressive, and they're obviously looking forward to draft some youngsters because they're miles off a premiership, so
Yeah,
they're looking a long way down the road.
That big rebuild, mate.
But I just factored in the players they lost that I just mentioned, and then getting in Sam Kerridge, Lockie Plowman. I think Plowman could be a good player.
Yeah.
Lamb, is he ever going to make it? Is he just a top 15 first round pick that's not going to do anything?
Yeah.
Sumner, I don't know stacks about him, but from what I'm seeing, I don't see him as anything amazing.
No.
And likewise with Phillips, so I'm not too sure. I mean, these guys have just come across from the Giants, really. They couldn't crack a game at the Giants too much. Are they going to be in your premiership team? I mean, that's why they're trading, surely. But
yeah, that's it, yeah.
Lengthy answer to your question why they're a loser, but they did have a fair bit of movement, and that's why I felt that some bit of wasteful players coming in and losing some quality guys at a good age. That's why I gave them the biggest loser.
Yeah, a bit like maybe the Tigers in recent times with them getting like players like Pettit, who sort of like B-grade players, but
D's as well.
Yeah,
in the past, Roden, Burns, etc.
Although I reckon Miles is a good pickup, but that's about it.
Yeah, he was. But who did you give it to?
Tough one, mate. Tough one. I went with Gold Coast. They lost a lot. They've got a lot coming in for the next year for their draft, but like they've lost Charlie Dixon, key power forward, albeit did get injured a lot. So maybe fair enough, and they're looking to the future there. Bennell, well, that was on his own terms basically, and Gold Coast were always going to get rid of him. I think after the straw broke the camel's back, and he's fantastic. Like kick six against us, and he shows he's an absolute star. And Zach Smith, I mean, I think Nichols overtook him due to injury. I'm not too sure because I don't follow Gold Coast heavily, but when I think of their ruck setup, I think of him as number one when he's fit and firing. So, and they've gotten Matt Rosa from West Coast and Dan Coe from the Roos. I mean, just done a couple of B graders, I think. Yeah. So it's not really going to help their team heavily. So tough one though.
Yeah, that's a fair call, mate. I think there's some big losses. So
yeah, and you haven't really fixed up those losses, but not that much available at hand for them. So
yeah, their picks down the track, I think, is what they were aiming for, but certainly not for the now.
Not personnel wise, no. But that makes us move on to Geelong and their nice trade-free agency period.
Yeah, we enjoy this, don't we, mate?
We do,
This is really what we're doing the video for, I suppose. Talking about the Cats, I mean, it was great for us, wasn't it?
Couldn't have asked for anything better, I wouldn't have thought.
I mean, I'll read them out to you.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I don't have them written down.
So Henderson, we traded first round of next year. Dangerfield and pick 50. We lost Gore 9 and 28, as Tyson said. Zach Smith, we gave up 49 and 53.
Yeah, great pick though.
Pretty good. And Walker and Jansen we lost for the third round pick next year, which I'll get your thoughts on. And Scotty Selwood came to us for free agency.
Yeah.
Eagles were filthy about that, and I think rightfully so. But look, some fantastic names come our way. We've declared that we believe we can win the premiership next season, obviously, because trading like that attends to some needs that we had to do, and definitely puts us in the frame.
Yeah, we're not out of it.
But individually, the Henderson trade, I mean, a first round pick next year.
I reckon it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon second round.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
But again, it could come down to the Charlie Dixon example where it's a key position player, you may have to pay overs, and you sort of speculating basically.
Yeah, true. And again, I mean, what is that pick? I mean, if we do well, it could be pick 16, 17, 18.
Top of the ladder.
But look, I think, as you said, we had to get a key defender. We wanted him, he wanted us, so you just make it work. Paddy Dangerfield speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
Walker and Jansen, we've pumped up both of them in the past. They've both gone to Brisbane, and we've received a pick that will probably feature, I don't know, anywhere
40s
from
40
or 50.
50s.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
No, I think a lot of Cats fans were filthy about it. I don't know. I think we had to do it for something to make something work. But Walker, he's got a fair bit of potential. Can go missing at times. Jansen, but I think Jansen's a really good, powerful midfielder. I haven't seen him play a game yet, but looks pretty promising in the twos from maybe what you've seen. More so than myself. But it's got to be almost a second round pick, I would have thought, for two players that could be in your next premiership team. Don't know. Yeah, I don't think many Cats fans could have seen eye to eye on that one.
And nobody really talks about that trade, and I guess we can't complain too much. And I suppose our hands were slightly tied by the fact we were having all that other movement, and we needed certain picks to get this done, and we, were spending so much time in organising other big picks and trades that they almost fell by the wayside. But I felt we could have maybe got a little bit more, but I guess
a bit soft.
From a non-Geelong supporter argument, you go, well, Jansen couldn't even break in your team when you supposedly didn't have a fantastic midfield.
Yeah.
And Walker, that second spot against Hawkins was up for grabs and he didn't take it. So I guess that's the argument against. But I agree with you that
fits the bill for them.
Yeah.
They need a forward. They need another midfielder.
Yeah, they've got a decent midfield lining up now as well.
That's it. Yeah.
And Zach Smith, pick 49 and 53. I think he could be anything really. I mean, it's very interesting that I didn't expect us to go after him, and all of a sudden we're interested. All of a sudden we're talking, and all of a sudden he's back. So
pretty quickly.
It happened very quickly. And 49 and 53.
So 2 third rounders basically.
Yeah, I mean it's not too much to give away for what he could offer. I mean ruck
spots have been tough for us,
and he was brilliant in his first year.
Yeah.
Unlike you, I mean, we don't see a lot of the Gold Coast down here, but he's kind of gone by the wayside with injury and form and things like that. But at his best, he's pretty mobile. I think he's 206 centimetres.
Yeah, he's one of the tallest ruckmen hanging around.
So you're happy to get him across, mate?
Yeah, extremely happy. Yeah, we don't have... Dawson Simpson left probably once he knew Zach Smith was coming in.
Wave to him through the door.
Would have been great, but for what he can offer and for what we need, can't complain at all. No, really happy with that. He could probably take the number 1 spot, most likely. Yeah, it's ideally.
Yeah, it creates some interesting problems, which we'll talk more about next year with Clark and Stanley, where it all fits in and whatnot. But
who else do we have ruckman, mate? I mean, we've got Lucy, which he probably won't play.
Yeah,
I feel like we've got another ruckman.
Yeah, I feel like you're right, but I feel like I cannot think of it at the time.
No, neither can I. But we'll move on, mate.
That's all right. And Scotty Selwood hasn't been talked about. Out of all these guys, he doesn't get talked about much at all.
No, I agree.
And I reckon he's behind Dangerfield, arguably our best pickup because we didn't give anything away from him. He just came to us.
Yeah.
And
thanks, Joel.
Yeah, and he is a fantastic player when he's up and running. People don't realise that. They just almost look at him in Joel's shadow. They don't see him over in Perth that much. Pritis has been outstanding. So Selwood hasn't been able to get on the park as much and fill that role, and they think of him as a tagger.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
It gives him the option to tag at Geelong, which I reckon is great. But his contested ball winning, which we are no good at, is the best part of his game, and the tackling, which you can never have enough good tacklers in your team. We lose Kelly; he was always a fantastic tackler at his peak.
Fill that hole.
I reckon he's going to be a really good pick if he can get his body right. I think he's already had a surgery on his wrist or ankle or something, so he's not going to have a perfect pre-season. But
no,
I do feel that in a few years or maybe even later next year we'll be going, gee, Scott Selwood, that was a great pickup.
I hope you're right, mate. We've taken a bit of a risk, because these guys can be a bit injury prone, probably at least 2 or 3 of them, and we've got plenty of them of our own, so you'd like to think it doesn't take an accumulation effect on injuries. You'd like to think we'll get a bit of luck our way, but general wise, in terms of personnel and structure, you can't go wrong.
Nathan Vardy, I think, was the one we were thinking.
Yeah, he'd probably be around the mark, for sure.
Probably that other ruck guy that might be
something
looking for that position as well. But I think that pretty much wraps it up, unless you had anything else you wanted to add in, mate. But,
no, I think we're good there.
Pretty good for the Cats, and not a bad wrap-up ourselves.
That's the flag.
Not getting ahead of ourselves here, are we?
Hopefully go all right next year. So that's it, the wrap-up of the AFL trade period for 2015. Bit of free agency as well, and a bit of a talk about the Cats. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to give it a like, and also share it around to all your mates. It'd be great. And the subscribe button is very important as well. Get onto that, and barring any videos of us having a kick, goal kicking session, we'll probably catch you guys next year. Have a good one, guys. Great Christmas and all that kind of stuff. Happy New Year. Happy.
Beautiful, mate.
All right. Sweet. Take it easy, guys. See you all next time.